Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Gary A. Swaby, and you're now watching or listening to episode 147 of the Co-op podcast on thecoalition.com. Richard Bailey is at Call of Duty XP in LA at the moment, so look out for some of his content on the site right now. He's got impressions on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and he's got some other write-ups coming soon as well, so definitely look out for that stuff, and shouts to Richard out there in LA representing us. This week we've got Mr. Max Moller. What's up, Max?
How you guys doing? Happy to be back.
Cool. How you been?
I've been good. I've been really productive the past week, actually, which is nice. I'm starting school soon, so that's going to put me on an actual schedule, which will be cool. And I'll be able to get workout more regularly. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to be trying to fit everything in with work, the Koalition, getting some game time in, and then school. It'll be interesting, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, that first week back is always a killer. So
yeah.
Shouts
Luckily
to
for me, it's a 3-day week.
Okay, that's not too bad though. But,
yeah.
Yeah, shouts to everyone returning to school this week. And we've also got my man Daniel Lawson from the Fan Zone. What's up, Daniel?
What's up?
How you doing, man? Tell everyone a little bit about yourself, because I think this is the first time you've been on the co-op.
This is the first time I've been on, so my name is Quell on everything. If you see a guy, his name is Cueile in any game or any service, that'll be me. I think there's one Brazilian guy on some like weird site, I can't remember what it was, that I couldn't get, but if you see that name, it's me. 99.9% of the time, I'm a co-host on the Fan Zone. You'll listen to me on the War Zone with Torrance Davis. There's nothing special about me. I'm just some white dude. See, just some white dude, straight hair, privileged in my 800 square foot house.
And for the people who don't know, let them know who the other host of the Fan Zone is, because they might not know.
Yeah.
Who's the other guy?
The other co-hosts are Damien, whom I think everybody knows, or most people know, and
Yeah.
Magnum, who maybe not everybody knows. And we usually have another guy called Keeley. He's a real life friend of mine that I worked with, Keeling's Gaming, that joined the show recently. He brings a little bit of balance to the show. He's not so much of a fanboy. I think he'll get mad at me. I don't want to throw a certain person under the bus. I'll hear it. I've got WhatsApp like open, and I'm sure that as soon as I say something about him, he'll be like, "Man, why you be saying stuff about me?"
Okay, so like, where can people listen to the Fan Zone? Is it just on YouTube, or do you guys have a site or anything?
So we live stream every Friday, unless things happen, real life happens. One of our members works in the medical field, so things happen. Things happen with me too, real life. But we stream on Friday starting at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 Eastern. That changes for you people who do not live in the United States. We do have our stupid daylight savings time. But we always try to inform our users. You can find our YouTube streams. It's video, so you can see all the comments and all the videos and links we post up. On my personal YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Quell, Cueil, to watch all of our past videos and see how stupid we are. And we can be pretty stupid. Many puts in the mouth situations. For myself personally, no cuts. There's no cuts and edits on our video as well. You'll find no editing. So if I say something stupid, I own it.
That's one of the things I like about your show, because it's like so raw, and it's like anything can happen, anyone can say anything. Like it's that raw gamer feeling. That's what I like about the show. So I'm definitely gonna link to it in the comments. In the post. So look out for that, people, if you want to check out the Fan Zone. But we're gonna get straight into what we've been playing. Me personally, I've been playing Overwatch, and I noticed, I think it was around Wednesday or something, I went on to play, and it actually updated and launched season 2 of competitive mode, and I was very surprised because I wasn't expecting it at that point. So yeah, I've got back into competitive mode. One of the things I really enjoy about it is that you rank up a lot faster when you play competitive because you're playing for longer. Like each match is much longer than it would be in a regular match. So I like that about it. But yeah, more than that, I just like the high competitive level that it brings. And yeah, I'm just enjoying it. I'm hoping that I can finally unlock one of those golden guns, the golden weapons and stuff. But it's going to take a lot of grinding to get those because you need like 300 or 3,000, I can't remember which, of those rank points or whatever. And you only get those if you win a match. So if you lose, you don't get it at all. So you literally got to win like 300 matches in competitive to be able to get it, something like that. So yeah, see how that goes. Besides that, I haven't had much time to play anything else, but I did mess around in Final Fantasy Lightning Returns a little bit, just because it's a real chill, laid back kind of game that I like to go back to here and there, just because I like the battle system and stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all I've been playing. What about you, Max?
Well, let's see. My brother and I got into some Halo 5 this week. We've been playing some of the team doubles. We either got really lucky or the community is just not very good anymore because we were destroying. We won like 8 out of our 10 matches by a lot. Or maybe just none of the good players play doubles anymore. I don't really know, but it was a nice little return. It was a nice little ego boost for Halo because we got into our platinum ranks and we're trying to get up to diamond, which is like, I think it's the second highest or maybe the third highest. So that was pretty cool. And then I've been putting a lot of hours into the Metal Gear Solid series. I finally got to the second game. My roommate has been going crazy about them, so he finally was able to sit me down and play through them, and I'm starting to see why people love the series. It screws with my mind all the time, and I just feel Kojima laughing at me the entire time and every single thing he puts in the damn game. I'm not going to spoil it, of course, but he just likes to troll. He's gaming's biggest troll, it seems like. But other than that, I've been working on some personal things. Like I just launched a blog the other day, and I've been working on my article for the Koalition, but I haven't had too much other time to play games, but hopefully that'll change this week.
Cool. Sounds good. So, like, what was your thoughts on Metal Gear Solid 1? Like, because that's a really old game now, and some people get put off going back to games because of the graphics and stuff like that. But did you thoroughly enjoy it throughout the entire experience?
Yeah, I actually think that it being old added to the experience for me because the controls were kind of a bitch to use, and because like you can only use the D-pad on Metal Gear Solid 1, the analog sticks I guess weren't a thing yet, and the control, it's a top-down game, and the shooting, there's a lot of times where enemies, like I can't see them but they can see me and they're shooting at me and I'm having a hard time aiming with just the D-pad. It's funny, I died a lot getting used to it, and the controls are kind of weird. Like circle is what X is nowadays. Like circle is forward and X is back, and I was just like, oh, that threw me off a million times. But no, it's cool, and for the time period, that game still feels like leagues ahead of its time. Like I'm sitting there and I'm just like, there are games now that don't have some of the stuff that this game has.
Yeah,
and it's crazy. Kojima's a genius. He really is.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So have you played any of Metal Gear Solid 2 yet? Like, have you started it at all?
I'm about halfway through it right now.
Oh, okay. So how do you like that in comparison to the first game?
It's improved
So far.
in every sense of the word so far. If you ask me, like the combat is, which makes sense because it's a new system and I can use the analog sticks now, and the combat is just improved. There's a first-person like shooting mode now, which is kind of nice. There are still a lot of times where the controls screw with me. But somehow I feel like that was all intentional for some reason. Kojima just loves trolling. I swear. The story has me hooked. Like I'm so excited to just go back and figure out what the hell's going on. But
What did you think of the new guy? Because that was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, my roommate's actually given me like developer commentary throughout like as I'm playing, and yeah, he was telling me. So I was expecting it a bit, but I find him kind of annoying. But I think that's the point. And what was I going to say about him? His girlfriend is very annoying to me too. It's funny because she just like chats you all the time and just talks and whines, and I'm just like, oh god, I get it. Like it's funny and it's obviously intentional. And I like Snake more, but he's okay, I guess. I feel like he'll grow on me.
Yeah.
Is that the biggest bait and switch in gaming history?
As far as I know, yeah. Yeah, my roommate was telling me how they only showed like gameplay of Snake when they were like releasing the game and promoting it, and then everyone was like flipping shit when they actually started playing the game, which I think is just hilarious.
Yeah. That's something only Kojima could pull off. Like that's just
exactly.
And I have everybody return the game. Yeah.
But no, it's funny. I'm thoroughly enjoying the series so far. Like 100, I love it. It's great, and I'm mad I haven't played them beforehand, honestly.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you, Daniel? What you been playing?
So my main game, as it always is Neverwinter on the Xbox. I played a little bit of SSX, which is one of the games with gold games. Unravel, which is fantastic. If anybody hasn't played Unravel, and especially have the Xbox Live, you got to download that. I don't even know if you can download it anymore, but that game is a really fun platformer where you're kind of limited because of the yarn. Played a little Diablo 3, and on PC, I played Lord of the Rings Online. I don't know why. I loaded it up. I was like, download. I'm going to play this game. I feel like playing Lord of the Rings Online. And I started playing it, and I played it for like 5 or 6 hours straight. And I was like, I think I'll play a little bit later today, but I just needed a difference. I needed to go back to like classic MMO where you hit buttons, right?
People love that game, don't they? Like still to this day.
It has yeah, because the lore is all there, right? They don't screw with the lore, and that's nice. I actually went back a couple months ago and played like 30 or 40 hours of EverQuest 1.
Damn, there you go.
That is classic, but they did a lot. It used to be, that was a horrible game when you died. People complain about dying in MMOs. They have no idea what real MMOs used to do to you.
Yeah, those are some of the most celebrated MMOs.
That Ultima Online.
Cool. Yeah, I really liked Neverwinter. Like it feels like a steal because it's offered for free, but there's like so much content. It's like wow, I can't believe like
there's
all this content for free.
Another free expansion coming out. It just came out for PC recently, so it should be coming out within the next month for consoles. I really wish the Xbox and the PS4 versions could play together.
Yeah,
that was really disappointing because the Xbox version was so the community was already built. The monetary system was already built for players to just insert in, and building it took a long time. It probably won't take as long on the PS4 version because of the lessons they learned, but it took a while to build up the whole community aspect, especially when it comes to buying and selling on the marketplace.
Yeah, well, hopefully one day, PlayStation and Xbox gamers will be able to play together in unison. That's what we're all hoping for.
At least in MMOs, right? At least in MMOs.
Yeah, they should definitely allow it in MMOs, but in any game period, because I mean, you've got the Rocket League developers saying that they're ready to push the button on that, and they're just waiting on Sony to give
Overwatch
them the okay.
too.
So yeah, Overwatch as well.
Overwatch would be great.
Yeah, Overwatch already said they're ready. But
they said they're thinking about it.
I think they got it ready.
Oh really?
I think I saw a comment that they were ready to push it out as well.
Okay.
You think they have enough push over there? And Active Blizzard. That's a Blizzard game, right? Overwatch.
Yeah.
Right. So Active Blizzard should have enough push to let me put a little pressure on. How big would some of these games be though? Because if you could just play, especially sports titles or first-person shooters, you can have a whole different mode, console versus console. We
That'd
can
be
have like
awesome.
everybody that plays Xbox and everybody that plays PS4, and they play each other, and that's that mode.
We could have actual console wars. That'd be
Yes,
awesome.
real
Yeah.
console wars.
Yeah,
64 versus 64 Battlefield.
all these fanboys, they can like literally settle their differences in game how it's supposed to be. So
Exactly. We won't have to hear
that's
about it on the internet all the time anymore.
exactly. Sony, you need to save the internet. Just say yes, please.
Please. If enough
Uh,
people push it, they have to say yes.
yeah, we need to get a petition or something. Like I see a lot of like BS petitions. Like people
Yeah.
should petition for that. So for sure. So yeah, let's get right into our news topics for the week. The first one, going back to Sony, is Gran Turismo Sport was actually delayed. Now this was supposed to release this November, but we hadn't really heard much about it at E3 or at Gamescom or any other event. So it's starting to look a bit fishy. And now Polyphony, the developers, have come out and confirmed that the game will be delayed until 2017. So, what do you think about that, Daniel?
I didn't even know about it till you said before the show. But all the news is how Sony's delayed all their games, right? So I didn't see it specifically about that specific game. I was like, well, something must have got delayed. But I've been working a lot, so I haven't been able to keep up like on specific newses. But is it surprising?
For me,
I mean,
no.
it's a precedent for
surprising
Sony
at
to
all.
play their game to early next year, isn't it?
Say that again.
I said, isn't they've already set that precedent?
Well, I don't know. I mean, they didn't seem confident when they said it was coming this year because they were supposed to have the beta earlier in 2016, and they delayed that. Well, they pretty much cancelled that. So that didn't happen, and then we didn't hear anything at E3 at all. Even though it was on the show floor, you could play it there. They didn't say anything about it at their press conference. They didn't show it, and they the same for Gamescom pretty much. So I guess it was pretty evident that it was going to happen, but they just didn't say anything until now. Any thoughts on this, Max?
Yeah, I can say I'm not surprised because honestly, any game coming out nowadays, I kind of expect it to be delayed just for my own sake, of my own happiness. But I'm not surprised. I mean, I guess it's always a good thing, I have to imagine, because I mean they have to be working on making it better, and a better game is always good in my eyes. And in my case, I have so many games in my backlog, it just gives me more time to work on those. So delay is never really a bad thing in my eyes. Like, it's always like, oh, that's a shame, but I mean, everyone is better off for it, I think.
Okay, I'm going to tell you why I think this is a problem for Gran Turismo in particular.
Oh, please, actually.
Because they already take so long just to produce a Gran Turismo game, and you have Forza, which is like now the best racing sim on the market now, and it used to be Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo used to be synonymous with racing simulation, and
Yeah.
they've kind of like lost that title now because they take so long to develop the game, and Forza comes out every single year consistently, and they make the improvements that they need to make in a timely fashion. But with Gran Turismo, they take so long just to tweak, the graphics or, just little irrelevant things that doesn't actually enhance the actual racing experience. So
Okay.
I feel like this hurts them a little bit with the Gran Turismo series in particular, because they'll no longer be able to claim that title anymore of being the best racing sim, because it's definitely not factual at this point. So I'm hoping that, if they are going to delay this, they're going to do something major. Hopefully they do like a major tweak and overhaul of the engine itself so that they can put out games more consistently with that engine. So I'm hoping they'll do that because they need to really catch up and start being able to compete with Forza and all the other racing simulation games out there.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. I haven't followed Gran Turismo in a while. I guess, yeah, I didn't know that they don't release games that much. It makes sense. Yeah, I'm looking. The last one was 2013.
Yeah, they've been known to take like 5 years to make a game. So
Yeah,
um,
2017, that'd be 5. Do we know when 2017? Like, are they giving it enough time to where a massive overhaul is viable?
I don't think they gave a window at all. I
Okay.
think they just said 2017, so it could be fall 2017. Who
Hopefully they
knows?
got like some great idea to like actually compete with Forza. That'd be awesome.
It
Like
doesn't
maybe they
sound
have
like they're
some,
trying to, though. Does it?
I don't know.
Because this, I thought the whole idea was that it was going to be kind of loosey-goosey, kind of a more arcadey
Arcade.
GT because of sports, right? You add sports to the end of it. It makes you feel like, well, this isn't a real GT, right? This isn't Gran Turismo that takes like 5 years because they create an entirely new engine for every single game. Uh,
But the thing is with that, because Forza also has Forza Horizon, and even
Yeah.
those games are super appealing to drivers in general, like
yeah,
people who
casual,
are into,
casual.
yeah, like because I've got a friend and the only games he plays is literally just racing games because he's a big car head, like he's into the whole car scene and everything,
Okay.
and he loves the Forza series. He used to like Gran Turismo, but now he loves the Forza series, and he'll literally only buy an Xbox just to play those games. And
Dang.
even Horizon, he says is more accurate, like in terms of driving than Gran Turismo.
Okay.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
because they get so much time to just refine it with
yeah,
every release.
They also have some cool features. You can, if you have the money, you could buy 3 Xboxes and 3 TVs and put them together, and it also supports full rig setups. So you can
Forza
set up
does?
yeah, it supports full rig setups like the PC Sims do.
that's
Dang, that's
pretty
awesome.
awesome.
There's a racing only company that they only review racing games, and they go like super in depth, and they set up every time a new Forza comes out, they set up like an entirely new cockpit entirely for Forza. And it's pretty cool what they do.
I believe you can do that in Gran Turismo as well, though, because I've seen they've had that at E3 where they have like the full thing with the steering wheel and the pedals and stuff like that. So I
Do
think
they have the hydraulics too? I always wanted to try one of those games. I wish I could drive with hydraulics on one of those cockpits. That would be awesome.
you might as well just get a real car at that point with hydraulics.
Yeah, but I'm not going to drive a real car 210 miles an hour, man. I get kind of nervous when I hit 85. I mean, most of the nervousness is because I'm going to get pulled over and go to jail for driving 20 miles over the speed limit. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get kind of nervous driving that fast. I'll only drive like over 100 in a video game. F that. So that would be kind of cool if they can get that just to give it a try. Three
Yeah.
screens adds to it. Now you got the one screen, and then you got 2 more screens on the side, kind of like at a full windshield.
Okay.
All right,
Uh,
yeah. So just go ahead, Max.
Actually, I just thought about this to reinforce your point, Gary. Since Forza Horizon 3 is now, or since Microsoft is doing their whole Play Anywhere where they're releasing games on PC too,
Yeah,
people who don't have an Xbox but only have a PS4, they can get Forza 3 or Forza Horizon 3 now.
yeah.
And
So
play
that
with
could
play
quench
with
their
people
thirst.
with Xbox.
Yeah, so Gran Turismo does really need to step it up then, because they now that only PS4 console gamers have access to Forza as well on their PCs.
Yeah, that's very true. So now Forza is more accessible. Like it's accessible to a lot more people now that it's coming to PC as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, like it's going to be hard for Sony to compete. I mean, maybe Sony feels like they don't need to compete anymore. Maybe their interest is elsewhere, but it's just the fact that this brand Gran Turismo used to be so synonymous with racing sims, and now
Yeah.
it's kind of like just fallen to the wayside. It's just another Sony exclusive, like.
Yeah.
But yeah. Any final thoughts on that before we move on?
Yeah. Not really. The game looks beautiful, actually. I'm on their site right now. It looks really appealing. Just hopefully it lives up to all the hype and everything.
Yeah, that's one thing I can give them props for. Usually those games look superb,
Yeah. No
definitely.
kidding.
I hope they don't have to rework the whole game. For fans of the series, I hope you don't have to rework the game. I hope whatever's going on is maybe like a frame rate issue or something small that they need to lock down for sure, and they don't think they can make September. If you're not going to make November, you might as well push it out. If you can't hit that that time frame with about 2 weeks in November, then it's pointless. Just push it out to March or whatever. Give them a little bit of extra time.
Probably
hopefully it's not big and we get a March release. That's normally what happens, right? What Sony does. Well, it's going to take a little bit longer, so we're going to just push it out to March.
They're probably just putting more polish on the Ferrari logo, just to make it look a little nicer.
Turtle wax. Get a deal with Turtle Wax or one of the other wax companies.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, so moving on, we're going to move on to Call of Duty, and shouts to Rich again because he's at Call of Duty XP event, and he's the one, like, because he's been texting me and stuff, and he said, oh, the multiplayer looks crazy, man. Like, so shouts to him. I actually saw the trailer when it released 2 days ago, and I really was impressed. Now, I'm somebody who stopped playing Call of Duty. Advanced Warfare was probably the last good one, but I started to get Call of Duty fatigue, and I was like, you know what, man, like, these games, they really aren't all that. Like, it's the same formula every year. Starting to get tired of this. And, during that time, I had Destiny. I was a big Battlefield head. So I was just like, you know what? Call of Duty's getting weak, man. Like, they're not innovating. They're not doing nothing different. So I'm just going to stop buying the games. And last year I think it was Black Ops 3. That was the first Call of Duty that I haven't bought since Modern Warfare, the original. So, yeah, I saw this trailer and I was actually impressed. I like, the space setting is cool and everything, but we've seen that before in Destiny and other games. But the way they did it looks cool. It looks like their own unique style. Like, it doesn't look like they're trying to copy Destiny or another game. It looks unique, so I like that, and it's very fast paced, intense. I liked some of the the ideas of he had that thing where he was like bashing through people. Some of the ideas they have in there seem pretty cool. So, Max, I know you just watched the trailer as well. What are your thoughts on Call of Duty Infinite Warfare multiplayer?
Yeah, I'm going to have to echo your thoughts on the fact that I haven't played a Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, and I haven't really been following it much. But yeah, after watching this trailer, I'm kind of hyped. It's interesting. I might actually get the game because I was just watching through the trailer again as you were talking. There's some cool stuff in there. Like, there's this anti-gravity kind of bomb sucking everyone in and throwing them. It looks like they're bringing dogs back a little bit. Like, there's this guy with a robotic dog that he can control. And I don't know, it just looks cool. And like you said, it looks like they're trying to do their own thing. Like, there's obviously a lot of inspiration in the game. Like, I can see, like, ideas from other games, but it seems like they're kind of bringing their own take on everything. And also, we are getting the Modern Warfare remaster with this game, if I'm not mistaken, like the collector's edition or something, right?
Yeah, you get the remastered version of Modern Warfare.
Yeah, so that has me sold a little bit too, actually, because that's a remaster that I think is actually a good idea, and since that game is old as hell, and there's a lot of people that haven't gotten to play it with this new generation of gamers, I'm sure.
You know what's interesting? I could see more people playing the Modern Warfare multiplayer than the Infinite Warfare one. Like, I can really see that happening because that's a really celebrated game. Like, there were people still playing Call of Duty 4 when Black Ops 2 came out and stuff like that. Like, people were still playing that game. So I could really see that being the more popular multiplayer just because it is so balanced and, it's probably the best so far of the Call of Duty multiplayer. It's
simple.
Yeah,
it's before they added all the crazy stuff with Modern Warfare 2. Is Infinite Warfare, is this a Treyarch game, do we know, or is this Infinity Ward?
Infinity Ward.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it looks appealing, honestly. It looks more appealing than any of the previous Call of Duty since Black Ops 1, if you ask me.
Yeah, for sure. I agree.
Okay. I was just gonna say, I remember you had said that that the game is the same every year, and I know that's a common complaint. But I forgot to add. I wanted to add that if it's not broken, like don't try and fix it. And I feel like they had a hard time trying to think of new things to add to the game because I mean the game feels great. There's no question. Call of Duty has always felt great, and I feel like that's why it's the same thing every year. And it looks to me like they've added a whole bunch this time around that'll be different. Granted, I haven't played Ghosts or Advanced Warfare, so I don't know how different this is to those, but to me it looks really unique and cool.
Yeah, to an extent, I can understand why they kept the formula the same for so long, because Call of Duty is a game that appeals to a more casual audience. So you might have people who literally just buy Call of Duty every year. Like that might be one of the only games they buy every year. But
Totally.
for us as hardcore gamers, we need more variety and we're looking for different things, and that's why we would like a game like Call of Duty to evolve and innovate rather than keep the same formula. But you know, for the more casual people, they might be happy with that. So
Yeah.
you know, I guess that's why. But Daniel, we were talking about Call of Duty before the show started. So what's your views on it, and why aren't you playing Call of Duty right now?
So I haven't played. I mean, I've touched on it and played a little bit, but the last Call of Duty I really played was World at War. Before that was Call of Duty 2. And I played all of the other Call of Duties before that, and I messed around with. I never could get back into them, and a lot of people are, like, oh, this is great. For whatever reason, I just completely lost interest in Call of Duty. I wish they'd do something. So the space battles look really awesome, but then the regular combat looks like regular Call of Duty, right? And I'm not interested in playing Call of Duty if there was an online like space battle, zero gravity fights. Can you imagine having zero gravity fights in Call of Duty? Like all of a sudden, like you're playing in a spaceship and then there's a breach, and for whatever reason you lose air, and one puncture into a suit and you're dead. That's how it should be, right? And there should be like and then you lose gravity maybe like slowly. At first you're like at 1, then you're at 0.5, and then you're at like 0.25, and then the gravity goes away and you're all bouncing off the walls trying to shoot each other. Unless you've got like some kind of upgraded pack where you can control yourself. And it's not easy to control yourself in 3D space, right? That would be pretty awesome.
The only problem with that is it sounds way too complex for the average Call of Duty player. I'm sure they would boycott the game.
That would have to be a mode, right? Space battles, right?
Have to be a side mode.
Like maybe the point would be to try to destroy the generators, the power generators, so that you lose that gravity effect. But that would be interesting. Something interesting and different, but it looks like just regular Call of Duty. They added like the dog back, like you said, or the car thing was kind of the car idea. The car bomb was kind of cool, but it wasn't enough to get me back into it.
What other games do you play instead of Call of Duty?
So I enjoyed playing Titanfall. What I didn't enjoy was getting my butt kicked in Titanfall constantly. These people got good really fast in Titanfall. And someone who's good in Titanfall and someone who's average in Titanfall is like the difference between a god and an ant. And it's just not fair to play with some of these people. But it was fun because it was different. You had the wall runs, you had the jetpacks, the Titans, and when the Titans would blow up, eject you way up in the air. And then you can land on another Titan and do damage to it. It was pretty cool. I'm interested in Battlefield 1 just because it's completely different than anything that's coming out. I probably won't get Titanfall 2, though, unless the single player... I need to see more single player before I make that decision. And I made a promise to myself after Titanfall that I'll never pay full price for an online-only game, or a game that the online feature is the only thing that interests me. So I might get this Call of Duty because of the space aspects. I might get it later on when it's $40 or $30 or something like that.
I'm sure Torrance Davis will talk you into it. He might be playing. But
I'm too
yeah,
poor, man. I'm too poor right now. Maybe if I get a better job.
hey, you never know. I'm sure you'll get to pick it up. But yeah, a lot of people right now are comparing Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty, Infinite Warfare. So, like, which do you guys think is going to be the better game? Because me, I'm biased. I'm a Battlefield head. So I know for sure that I'm buying Battlefield 1, and I'm not sure if I'm buying Infinite Warfare yet. So, but what
Mhm.
do you guys think, based on what you've seen from both trailers and what you've heard about the beta? What do you guys think is going to be the better game? And there's all this controversy going on as well, people disliking the Call of Duty videos and liking the Battlefield 1 videos, the trailers and stuff. So
Mhm.
how do you think that's going to pan out?
Um, well, I'm thinking that honestly, Battlefield 1, I don't know if it'll sell better than Call of Duty because nothing ever sells better than Call of Duty. But I think Battlefield 1 will have better reception. I don't know if that's just going to be like bias, but also because it's doing something very unique. And from what I've heard and seen, the Battlefield 1 plays very well. Especially after hearing about the beta. I actually didn't play it because I don't normally play betas because I like to play the full game when it comes out. But from what I've heard, Battlefield 1 is really, really cool and something stand out. Like, I know that you can ride I saw this one clip of my friend riding a horse, and he was like trying to hit a guy with a sword, and he got shot off the horse, and the horse fell and crushed the guy that shot him and killed him. I just feel like it's going to have a lot of stuff like that people are just going to think is awesome, and that's going to sell the game for it. Like, they'll see that kind of stuff on Reddit and everything and be like, oh, I've never really played anything like this. Whereas Call of Duty, it's always going to have the same people who play it every year, and like there's going to be people that pick it up. But I feel like Battlefield 1 will get the more positive reception, especially after Hardline. No one liked Hardline, and everyone's happy that Battlefield 1 is going back to actual Battlefield.
Yeah, and like both games are essentially trying something new in
Mhm.
in the series, but the thing is, with Battlefield, World War I is like hardly ever done in
Yeah.
games. It has been done, but like it hardly happens at all. And Call of Duty going to space, we've got a lot of other options in terms of space combat and space shooters and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
Battlefield does seem a bit more unique in that sense, and from what I've seen of the beta, it does look pretty interesting. Um, but Daniel, what do you think?
I think Battlefield 1 might be unique enough that there's a lot of crossover. Some people may get Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty because it's not essentially a modern or near future shooting type game. You know what I'm saying? They're different enough where maybe you'll buy Battlefield 1 even though you're going to buy Call of Duty because Battlefield 1 gives you a completely different game style or gameplay than you'd get playing Call of Duty. So I wonder if there'll be a lot of crossover with people more than it used to be with people owning both versions or both of the games.
Hmm.
Hmm. I do feel like if there was going to be a year where Battlefield outsells Call of Duty, it could be this year. But still, like Call of Duty is like a monster globally, like
Yeah.
so it's going to be tough for sure. It's going to
That
be a tough
E3
fight.
trailer saved their butt. That E3 trailer at the Sony
Of
press
Battlefield 1
conference.
or Call of Duty?
No, the Call of Duty one because
Oh,
whoever
yeah.
made the first trailer up, I don't think he's employed anymore. At least not there because wow, the difference, just like just a little bit of extra content changed everybody's outlook. People are like, oh, what's this game? This game looks cool, and it's like Call of Duty, what?
Yeah,
I do think that it's a bit of a shame though, like that, because as someone who would get both of them if I could, I don't have the money to be buying both. Maybe like for Christmas or something, I could ask for the other one, but I know that affects it because I know Daniel was saying there are a lot of people who are going to do both, but I feel
Mhm.
like money is a big factor in people that would do both, so they're going to have to pick one or the other.
Yeah, and it's always a big factor around that time as well, because there's so many games coming out as well. Like even
Hmm.
before these games come out, there's going to be a lot. There's Watch Dogs 2, there's Titanfall, there's so many other games
The
coming out
the
around
Tomb
Final
that
Raider's
time.
coming
Fantasy.
out on PS4.
Final Fantasy, yeah, yeah. So it's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see those MPDs. But
Hmm.
before we move on, any final thoughts on that?
I'm good.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing else.
All right, cool. So this is where it gets interesting. Um, so we're gonna compare the games that are being offered this month for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Games with Gold. And yeah, so I'll just run through the PlayStation games first, and then we'll say what we think of that. So on PlayStation Plus in September, you'll be able to get Lords of the Fallen, Journey, Prince of Persia: The Forgotten Sands for PS3, Datora on PS3, Badland on PS4 and PS3, and Amnesia Memories on PS Vita. So does anything stand out there for you guys? And I know you haven't got a PS4, Max, but is anything on there sound, worthy of downloading?
Well, from what I've heard, definitely Journey. I actually need to play that on my roommate's PS3 or PS4. Let's see. Lords of the Fallen was Games with Gold a few months ago, and I played a little bit of it. It's kind of technically it's kind of broken and it lagged a lot. I don't know if that's just an Xbox thing, but it was kind of frustrating to play sometimes. And I'm a big Dark Souls fan, so I was excited to try like a game similar to it, but I
Yeah.
don't know, it just felt kind of inferior in every way. But I know there were some people that really liked it, and I think if I were to have stuck through a few more hours, I might have found more out of it. But I mean, it's free, so everyone should try it, I think, and make their own opinion on it. The other games, I don't really know much about, so I can't really comment on them. I know that Prince of Persia game was that one of the ones that people really liked? I don't remember if that review was
To
all
be
that.
honest, I'm not sure. I'm not clued up on the Prince of Persia games at all.
Yeah.
But I do think that one was pretty popular though, if I remember.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, people I think liked it, and it reviewed decent.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you, Daniel?
Daniel.
Uh, Me now?
Yeah.
All right, I didn't want to step on you. That's why I didn't know. I have Lords of the Fallen on the Xbox. I didn't have any problems with it, so it might have just been some problems when it was installed on your hard
Yeah.
drive. Maybe delete it and try installing it. It's very Soulsy times 2 in speed. So if you
Mhm.
like, if the slowness of a Souls game annoys you, but the challenge and difficulty intrigues you, Lords of the Fallen, uh, you won't get into the grind until you get to the first real boss. So it's pretty easy. Then you get to the first boss, and you're like, Jesus Christ, right?
Yeah, I do remember the first boss. He kicked my ass a few times.
Yeah, he was difficult. Once you get past him, things open up like a Dark Souls game. So if you go down the wrong path, you're not going to make it. The leveling up kind of sort of works a little bit. You could clearly tell they were heavily inspired by Dark Souls. But if you like playing a fast character or a magic character or a melee character, and there's variations of those, it doesn't expand out class-wise as much as Dark Souls. But it's a good game. I really like it. So if you only have a PS4, give it a try. If you're a Dark Souls fan, you'll probably have to put a little bit of time in, especially if you just got done playing Dark Souls 3, because it's enough different where you may find yourself having some problems playing the game. At least I did, because I was playing Dark Souls 2, and then I tried playing Lords of the Fallen, and that does not happen. Journey, I've got to play Journey. And this is the first time in a long time where I think the PS4 games are better than the PS3 games.
Yeah.
Prince of Persia is a decent game. I don't even know what the other game is.
Yeah,
There's
Datura.
Datora, Badlands, and Amnesia Memories.
Yeah, I'm interested. I'm gonna have to download Amnesia. I've got the the original game on PC. It's the same series, right?
I assume so. I don't know much about that series, so
It's
yeah.
like
Yeah,
you're a wuss. You're just some normal dude, and you're trying to survive through this horrible situation. I don't want to give too much away. At least that's what Amnesia, the first one, was. So I might have to download that for my Vita and give it a try.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a really nice bunch of games there. Journey. I think a lot of PlayStation only owners probably already played it on the PS3 and PS4 already. But I would suggest anybody who's got a little bit of time between Dark Souls playing, give Lords of the Fallen a try.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be trying it. I've actually had that game on my Steam wish list for a while, so I've been wanting to try Lords of the Fallen. So now that it's on PlayStation Plus, and I currently have PlayStation Plus, I'm definitely going to add that to my downloads.
Well, they had some problems with the PC version, so you might just have lucked out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah, they had some serious problems.
I remember that.
What's up with these developers like botching their games on PC, man?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. And
trend.
the weird thing is they're putting their game on a Windows 10 PC on the Xbox. So I don't understand the problem.
Yeah.
It just completely blows my mind. You can get it working on the Xbox, but your PC port is trash. or the worst thing is it doesn't work on AMD hardware. How does it not work on AMD hardware?
That's been happening.
Yeah.
And what is that?
It should be optimized for that already because
I
of the
know.
consoles. Oh,
You've been building it for years on two AMD platforms, and you're telling me it doesn't work on an AMD platform on the PC? Just crazy.
Yeah, to Lords of the Fallen's credit, though, I think it seems that they didn't want to completely rip off of Dark Souls. It seemed like they were obviously very heavily inspired by it, but it seems like they tried to do their own things here and there, and some of those ideas just didn't work out, and some did, in my opinion. But I do want to give them credit for that, not just straight ripping off of it.
Story is more focused, if that's more interesting to you, or the story is much more focused in this game than it is in Dark Souls. Yeah, there is an actual story that plays throughout this game. Voice acting can be from like horrible to great. That whoever does the voice acting of the first woman you meet is like not very good.
So once you get over the learning curve, would you say that this is a much easier and simplistic game compared to Demon Souls and Dark Souls?
No, it's a different game, but the speed your speed is increased, right?
Yeah.
But so are the enemies. The enemies are a lot faster generally. So one of the worst enemies you'll meet, like fairly soon after the first boss, are the spiders. So there's this big spider, and you're like, kill these little spiders, like whatever. And then the big spider drops down off of the ceiling. Right? That's a regular mob. It took me forever to beat this mob, and she spawns back. She's like a mini boss that respawns.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be getting the game because I don't like spiders. So. But yeah, okay. So moving on to the Xbox Games with Gold games. From Thursday, September 1st up until the 16th, you can get Earthlock on Xbox One and Forza Horizon on Xbox 360 and backwards compatible on Xbox One. And then from September 16th onwards, you can get Assassin's Creed Chronicles China and Mirror's Edge, both for Xbox One. Mirror's Edge is backwards compatible, so yeah. What do you think of those offerings for Xbox Games with Gold?
I'm going to have to say Earthlock looks kind of cool to me. It may just be another generic RPG. I'm not entirely sure. I have to look into it more. I mean, the art style looks great, at least. It looks like a beautiful game. And I know that it just dropped September 1st. And I actually haven't looked up reviews or anything on it, but I'm going to try it out, especially for like achievements and stuff. Forza Horizon is brilliant. I think everyone knows that, though. Assassin's Creed Chronicles China, I've heard, is just very average. Like all of the side-scrollers Assassin's Creed games, they just reviewed very average. So I might just play that just for the achievements because I'm kind of an achievement whore, but I don't really expect much out of that. But Mirror's Edge, love that game. I had it on Steam, and I'm probably going to play it through again on Xbox when I get the time, because it's a quick playthrough. Your first time is probably going to be like 7, 8, 9 hours, but if you've played it through and you're just doing it again, you can do like 2-hour runs, and I think there's even quicker speed runs, and it's a really cool game. Mirror's Edge is a very unique game, and from what I've heard, better than the second one, which is a shame, but what are you going to do?
Yeah. Daniel, how do you feel about those list of games?
I'm really interested. I haven't played it yet, but I'm going to play some Earthlock. I downloaded it already. I watched some videos. It doesn't look like your standard RPG, but that could just be, just a video, right? It can play like your standard RPG when you're playing it. How many games have you like watched a video and you're like, oh, that looks awesome, and you play and you're like, oh man, this game's just like this other game I just played 10 minutes ago. Forza Horizon Forza Horizon sells the whole list. That is such if you're not a big racing fan, but you like driving cars, this might be the one. It's pretty open, even for a 360 game. I haven't played Wasn't Assassin's Creed Chronicles originally 3DS games, and then they were released later on like the last gen?
Possibly,
I don't know.
I feel like I should know this, but I don't know. I don't think it was actually, because
I don't think China was, but I think the one before it was.
I know there were ones on the DS, but I don't know if these are ports of that or if they just decided to make new ones on consoles as well.
Yeah, because I know I saw it on Steam, so I'm not sure if it originated from handheld, but then came to Steam and other systems, or if it's just something different. I'm not sure. But I think it's something different, because I remember a lot of people talking about the being in China and stuff, and Assassin's Creed and stuff, and it was a big deal around the time it came out. So I think it might be something new.
Yeah, I think I remember that too.
As for Mirror's Edge, if you played Mirror's Edge 2, you can go ahead and play Mirror's Edge 1 to get the nasty taste out of your mouth.
Was it that bad? Was Mirror's Edge 2 that bad?
I didn't even want to play it. I have a friend, Keeley, the guy I told you about that's also on our show from Keeling's Gaming, and he made a video on it, and he was so disappointed. And he's like a super fan, right? He's a fanboy of the series, and it crushed this guy. He did a video on Xbox. You can look it up, I think, still, where he was showing these huge bugs. Like he was running inside, and like the whole inside disappeared and was the outside, and then he showed a part where he was running outside and it turned into the inside. And then there was like these huge pink lines like shooting out like in front of him in like different parts of the game. He's like, oh, you think this just happens here? He's like, nope, over here it happens, and here it happens again. He's like, I'm so disappointed.
That was on Xbox?
Yeah, it was the Xbox version. I don't know if it was also a problem on the PS4, but it was definitely a problem on the Xbox version. They might have patched it up, but the funniest thing he showed was he was fighting 3 guards, and one guard missed a hit at him and ran into a wall and damaged himself. and they would like run. They would not. Their AI was horrible. Like killer. Like what was that? Killzone. The original Killzone. Remember the AI in Killzone?
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. The video reminded me of, because I remember playing Killzone on a PS2, and like sometimes the enemy would point their gun straight up in the air and just shoot and turn in circles.
Yeah, some of those games had terrible AI.
I played the closed beta of Catalyst, and I had fun with it, and I was excited because I figured that it was going to evolve from there, because the combat is kind of meh, but the movement felt very good and fluid, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to see what they do with this and everything. And from my understanding, it just doesn't evolve from there. It just stays the same the whole time, and the open world doesn't really work out, which is a shame.
He said the movement was better. He said the movement was really good, but
yeah,
you got to combine everything. You can't have like a partial package for $60.
Exactly. Yeah, the beta had me hyped, but then it came out and everyone was like, yeah, the beta was good, but nothing changed from that. And I was like, oh, that's a shame.
Yeah,
so I
it's a
didn't
real
end up getting
shame.
it.
It's a real shame they messed that up because
It is.
there were so many people looking forward to another Mirror's Edge for years, and like there
Yeah.
was years and nothing was announced at all. And then all of a sudden it's announced, and then it comes out and people don't like it. Like that's
Yeah.
it's always
This
sad to
game
hear.
this game needs to be on VR though.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to play it on VR, but I want to see other people play it on VR.
It'll be a
Even
good
though
Game,
puke
idea.
though.
makes me sick, I want to see VR. I can imagine people playing this game on VR. Just barfing up in the middle of a trade show.
They also just seemed so confident with the game when they were showing it off and everything. I remember even with the trailer, they were like released, and then they waited and they were like, when it's ready, and everyone's like, oh, they're gonna take their time and make it perfect. And they kept releasing these developer diaries and just I don't know.
They I don't know what they did, where they thought that, like, why did they made decision, I think, that were based on maybe political reasons, like the guns. Like the first game had guns, they sucked, right? You
Yeah,
could
but that
use
was
them.
intentional.
Yeah,
It
that
was
was intentional. You don't know how to shoot a gun that well, right? That's a normal person grabbing a gun and just using it, like blah 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 blah, and you suck. But you hit a couple guys. You shoot 20 bullets. You use 2 of them hit people. But this game, they just completely took it out. Who the hell throws a gun away when you're surrounded by enemies?
Yeah.
Right? You take the gun, you use it, and you toss it away.
Yeah. Or you
They
throw
took
it at
it
them or
out. They
something.
took it out, and they had. I think that was one of the games that had Anita Sarkeesian as like a consultator or whatever the hell, where she was in
Oh,
there
okay.
like,
So
don't
so
use guns.
that's why it's
Oh,
trash.
really?
Okay.
Yeah, that and Towerfall or whatever the heck that game was.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, two very good lists of games for both services there.
Totally.
Me personally, to summarize each one, I would say the PlayStation Plus list is it's much more varied, but I feel like the Xbox One packs a meaner punch. Like you get some really big games with the Xbox offerings, in my opinion. How do you guys feel? Just to sum it up.
Yeah, I'd have to say the same to that, because for me, the Xbox Ones, aside from China, and I guess we don't know about Earthlock, but at least Horizon and Mirror's Edge, I think, make like the whole month for me. And for someone who hasn't played either of those games, I think they're in for a treat. And yeah, the PlayStation ones are good. I don't know some of them. I was actually just looking up Datura. That's apparently a PS Move game, but it worked really well, I guess. Like it reviewed decently. But yeah, Journey's a great one. No kidding. And I'm sure that everyone who hasn't played it yet is just going to play it. But overall, I think they're both good lists. So, like, no one got screwed over this time around.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyone listening, make sure you leave your comments and let us know which games you're looking forward to playing on those services this month, if any, at all. And yeah, we're gonna Daniel, did you have something to say about it?
I think I agree, right? This is the first time in a long time where one console didn't get screwed over on these. One console was just like garbage, and the other one was like putting out these awesome games. So it's nice whether you're a PlayStation only owner or an Xbox only owner, you're getting some really good games.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Okay, so we're gonna move on to our main topic now, main discussion. So some major stuff went down this week with YouTube, and it had everyone in a frenzy. So basically, a lot of videos on YouTube have been getting demonetized, and there's now like a new algorithm that's going to demonetize videos that have, like basically a lot of profanity and videos about really sensitive and harsh topics and such. And people are really wondering how this is going to affect the gaming community on YouTube, because there's a huge gaming community. There's people doing let's plays, reviews, discussions. There's all types of gaming content on YouTube. So people are, worried and wondering how this is going to, affect that whole gaming scene on there. So Max, I know you've been making YouTube videos and stuff. Do you have any thoughts on it so far?
To be honest, I'm still not entirely sure I understand what's going on. So from what my understanding is, video titles that have like swear words in them, or people that did have controversial videos, like I would imagine even like Filthy Frank and stuff. So they're just getting demonetized for that specific reason, whereas beforehand this wasn't an issue, I'm guessing, correct?
Yeah, correct. And also, it doesn't like the profanity doesn't even have to be in the title. Like supposedly, it can detect what's in the actual video. So like if in the audio, within the audio itself, it can detect, if you're cursing and stuff like that in the
Okay.
video.
So, I mean, YouTube has every right to do whatever they want with their platform, of course. But I feel like censoring some of the stuff I feel like is going a bit overboard. I think that, especially with really big videos, it should go on more of a case-by-case basis, even though that's going to be very difficult to do with how much content is out there on YouTube. But I mean, isn't there an age filter on YouTube? There always has been. I know that you can
Yeah.
mark your videos for 17 up, and I feel like if you do that, you should be in the right as long as it's nothing like porn or like X-rated stuff, you know?
hmm Yeah, I think their main aim with this is to make YouTube a more ad-friendly place, and
Okay.
they wanna be able to compete with TV pretty much. Like they want to take it to the next level, and I guess they're giving advertisers more control over the sorts of videos that they display their ads on and stuff. And
Okay.
I do believe they said as well that a lot of these videos that are getting demonetized will be at the mercy of the advertisers themselves. So, advertisers can decide whether they're going to allow certain things to slide, or if they're going to, keep things demonetized based on the content within a video.
Okay.
So,
Interesting. And I don't know too much about this, but I know that Total Biscuit was tweeting about this. If you're sponsored by like an MCN, apparently you're still like covered. You'll still get paid because that's different than YouTube's AdSense. So
yeah.
according to him, you'll still be fine for the most part. I know you're still losing some revenue no matter what, which is a shame. But I don't know. I feel like this is gonna change a bit within the next few weeks. I feel like there's going to be sort of a compromise between the YouTubers and YouTube and the ads. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll have to see where this goes. I feel like this isn't over. I don't think this is just the end-all be-all.
Yeah, hopefully it definitely does improve, because I think this whole first wave of events that happened, like the first wave of demonetized videos, it's because the algorithm is kind of new, and I think it needs to like build data and to just so it can understand things more, I guess, and mature, and then hopefully after that it will be a bit more specific about the videos that it demonetizes, and it will do it more rightfully so, I guess, at that point. Daniel, do you have any thoughts or understanding on what's been going on?
So the big guy, the big one that I watched was Boogie, and he had some of his videos demonetized. Now, for those of you who may not know Boogie, if you ever seen the fat guy who like goes crazy about like the credit card, using the credit card and stuff like that, or that's Boogie, and he's had several of his videos demonetized. Boogie suffers from anxiety disorder, so you can imagine he was on vacation when this came down. So in the middle of his vacation, he finds out that his videos are being demonetized. This is what he makes a living on, right? He makes quite a bit of money off of this. So even one video being demonetized is costing him a lot of money, and it's his Francis videos, right? And when he talks about topics maybe that aren't pleasant. Like I believe one of the things he talked about when he was talking about being suicidal at one time, that video got demonetized, and a couple other videos. I know several other YouTubers who talked about suicide prevention and things of that nature also had those videos taken down. So it's not just cussing. It's I believe you hit on it a little bit. Things that are
Sensitive
controversial,
topics.
controversial topics, suicide, I can't imagine what are they gonna. You can't talk about racism or sexism or any of that stuff anymore. It's just people are CNN is having problems getting advertisers, and they post some of the worst stuff you can see on TV on their newscasts, right?
Yeah.
Not only that, they got some. It's just I don't understand if you're a news. A lot of these people are getting hit really hard. Are YouTubers
News
who
outlets, yeah.
tell the news, right? They're just telling the news, right? They're reporting the news,
Mhm.
and then their news stuff is getting pulled down. And CNN doesn't have problems getting. Why would if the company will post on CNN or Fox or ABC, NBC, anything like that? I don't see any problems. They would have any problems with posting up with any of these YouTubers who are posting news or talking about sensitive topics like suicide prevention. I know it's. I think almost everybody probably knows a friend or a family member that has committed suicide. So it's not a topic that I don't think people are unfamiliar with, and I think it's a topic that a lot of us should be aware of and occasionally to get out of our comfort zone and listen to. So to demonetize some of these YouTubers, I don't know about that. I hope that this is just an initial thing, and that a lot of this stuff will just go away. I can understand that Disney doesn't want their cartoon advertisement on Boogie talking about how he thought about killing himself, but come on.
Mhm.
Yeah, it does suck a little bit for, the people who genuinely cover these topics and they have a lot of interesting and intellectual insight to add, to a lot of these sensitive topics and stuff. But this does kind of filter out those people who are attention whores and basically just will report on anything just because it's being talked about or it's popular and they have nothing interesting to add to, whatever the topic is. So at least it weeds out those type of people a little bit, but at the same time, it's at the expense of the genuine people who are trying to make a living on YouTube doing good work, and that always sucks.
Even if they're controversial, even if you don't agree with them, even if they say things that maybe you think are offensive, those people shouldn't have their livelihoods taken away just because you feel uncomfortable when you watch it. Nobody's forcing you to watch it. What I think they should do is require people, if you're going to talk about suicide, require suicide to be in your list. That way, advertisers would be like, well, these are the keywords that we don't want. Disney doesn't want their cartoons to be on people who talk about suicide. That's particular video, and other companies may want to advertise, may actually go to that specific video, like a suicide prevention company or something like that, or a government does videos about suicide every now and then, and they can target those videos that talk about suicide prevention for those ads. So if they do something like that, if it grows, but I don't have a lot of faith in YouTube because they still haven't fixed their digital management problems, that people still get nailed for stuff when it's dumb. I don't think they'll fix it.
Yeah,
I think that this is here's a huge opportunity for Dailymotion or Vimeo or another big company to come in here and just pull the rug out from under YouTube. This is a big opportunity for one of these.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because there has been a lot of talk from within the gaming community of people considering moving their videos to other platforms like Dailymotion and Vimeo and stuff. But I mean, people have tried this before, but the reality is that there's just not as much money on those platforms right now, to be honest. So like,
yeah, I was gonna say that.
Do you guys think that there'll ever be a situation where YouTube is kind of on a decline and there's another rising video service? Do you ever feel like that might happen at all?
If the big people, right? So the Boogies and the people like that, the people who have like 3-4+ million subscribers, if those people start going to Dailymotion and posting all of their controversial videos at Dailymotion, and then their nice videos on YouTube, you might start to see a slow exodus. People that want to watch those videos might be watching on Dailymotion. They'll probably be linking it into their YouTube accounts. It might be an opportunity for an up-and-coming company to put together something maybe that's a little bit more streamlined than YouTube, where you get paid faster or you deal with less crap.
Yeah, I know. Interestingly, I know that Amazon actually started allowing user-generated videos on their platform, but
Really?
I think, yeah, they did. But I think at the moment it's more tailored to people who make high-end quality videos, so on a bigger budget, pretty much. So not like your everyday vlogger or whatever. Like it's for people who actually have a little production behind their videos, I think. Because there's a lot of like guidelines and stuff. There's a lot of boxes that need to be checked before your video is actually accepted on the service. But maybe this is just their way of starting, and maybe they'll actually go into that direction of starting to allow everybody to upload their videos on Amazon and stuff, and maybe that'll be another platform that can be monetized as much as YouTube can.
Well, they've got a platform that with a little bit of changes, they can do that. They've already got Twitch. They own Twitch, right?
They
do.
Twitch too, yeah.
So maybe you can do a spinoff of Twitch, that's for video cast.
Or hell, even do it on Twitch.
Or even do it on Twitch.
Like YouTube Gaming.
Yeah, like YouTube Gaming, but Twitch doing the opposite, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Twitch non-gaming.
Do you think that might happen? Like maybe a lot of these big YouTubers will maybe they'll go to Twitch and start streaming more and
I know
getting their donations.
Talking about that, going to Twitch, doing more of his stuff on Twitch. Going to these other services like Hitbox or Beam or something like that. One of these small companies, right? Hitbox and Beam aren't big, but they might be able to quickly escalate what they already do, especially now that Beam is owned by Microsoft. They might be able to escalate quickly. Right now, their videos only stay up there for like 2 weeks or something. But if they can escalate, if they can grow their business fast enough to where they can allow people to do some cool stuff, and Beam has some pretty cool features that are unique to it that they might be able to pull. So one of these companies that needs to step up. This is a huge the big boogie one. This is a huge opportunity. This is a massive opportunity, especially if they don't fix some of these little problems for some of these big YouTubers.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who want to see YouTube get disrupted by something else. And, my man Max here, he actually wrote an article that's called Why Have Gamers Flocked to Streaming? So definitely check that out on the website. But there are some people, there's a divide, because there are people who go to YouTube for people's videos, like whether it's PewDiePie or Sniper Wolf or Boogie, whoever it is, they go specifically to watch their videos. And there are some people who actually don't enjoy streaming. But do you feel like if a lot of these big YouTubers do start streaming more and stuff like that, they might expose a lot of these the YouTube audience to Twitch and streaming, and that might completely change the game going forward?
I think that, well, let's see, everyone that views these big gaming YouTubers, I assume they know about Twitch, like, no question. But I guess, if they switched over from YouTube completely, those people would have no choice. They'd either have to stop watching their favorite YouTubers or start watching them on Twitch. And I have to imagine most of them would start on Twitch rather than just try and find someone else. Because if you like a person, you're not going to stop liking them because they switch. Like, I feel like they would follow there. That's an interesting point.
And you can always publish on YouTube like maybe 2 days later or whatever to slowly pull your audience over to some other site. That's what I would do if I was one of these big YouTubers that maybe was having some problems. I'd start putting my stuff on Dailymotion, and maybe delay it, like daily or whatever platform you decide. I'm putting it on Twitch or Dailymotion or whatever, and then 2 days later or 3 days later or whatever, you push it out on YouTube, and you let people know this is if you want to get my stuff early, go to dailymotion.com/ I'm the awesomeness, and you can watch my videos 3 days early or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I was maybe going to compare it to World of Warcraft. YouTube being World of Warcraft and everything else being other MMOs, and that event, for a time period, World of Warcraft was the biggest game by far. And at this point, it still has the highest subscribers for an MMO, like by a few million still, if I'm not mistaken. But the thing is, it's balanced out now. It's no longer just everyone plays World of Warcraft. And I feel like that's going to start happening, and this might be the time where that's going to start happening, where YouTube, I mean, no one's going to take down YouTube. Like, I have this statistic up right now. 22.4 billion hits were on YouTube in the month of July. Like, wow. That's not gonna leave. It'll get smaller, but it's not gonna leave. And I feel like eventually, whatever new platform comes out, maybe if Amazon jumps on this and makes their whole video hosting service, there will be a lot of people going to that. But I think that YouTube will never just be taken down. I think YouTube will stay #1, but I do think that other platforms are going to start really competing. I feel like now is the time to start doing that.
That's a really good analogy right there.
Well, there's to put a negative on that. All you have to do is remember MySpace, Yahoo.
Oh wow!
Nobody thought these. You put out something better than YouTube, and if someone puts out something that's better than YouTube in every single facet, like Facebook was better than MySpace and everything, and people are just going to leave. People are mass accident. If it's better, if you can make more money on this new platform, if this new platform is easier to use, if this new platform allows you to be more free with yourself, if this new platform is better than YouTube in every way that content creators that matters to them, you may see a mass exodus, and it's going to start up top. So this new whoever it is needs to try and get these big guys. Can you imagine if a new site came up and PewDiePie left YouTube?
That would be unreal. I would like that.
You think he couldn't instantly turn whatever site he went to into #2, and then he says, Sniper Wolf, why don't you come over here? So and so, why don't you come over here and do videos? And these people move over, and you could still put your stuff on YouTube, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
You're just like, hey, a week early, just like I said earlier, a week later, and then you slowly pull all your people over to the new site. And if it's better, you may see it doing MySpace. No site is so big, because remember, this is just a spin-off of it used to be its own, but it's part of Alphabet, which is Google.
Yeah.
So this site could disappear in a year. We're like, this is so big. Can you remember? I remember MySpace.
But
MySpace
was
the thing huge.
The thing is though, MySpace was trash even when it was the best site. Like,
YouTube isn't that great either, right?
But you have to keep in mind though, this is gaming centric. YouTube will still have everyone else that because not everyone goes on YouTube for video games. There's shit tons of other things on there. So we have to keep in mind this is a lot of the gamers may move over, but YouTube can still stay #1 for a long time with all the vloggers out there and all just like the ridiculous content everyone makes.
Exactly. Yeah,
it's going to be all about revenue.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I think that's the key. If the new site wants to come in, they're going to have to offer better revenue for content creators, and if they can do that, it's YouTube's going to have to do something. They're big enough they can do something, but that's what I think a lot of people want. They want somebody to come in here and say, hey, you can make more money over here, and then draw people and force YouTube to stop, some of these practices that make a lot of content creators. I don't know how Angry Joe is going to make any more money on this on YouTube, right?
Well, he'll have his MCN at least. So the thing is, they'll all still be making some money from if they're sponsored, but they're going to take a big chunk out of it. They're going to be losing a big chunk with this AdSense thing.
He makes a living on YouTube, right?
Yeah, he must.
Right. Yeah, that's just YouTube. He doesn't have a second job or anything like that. Yeah, so those are the people like that you worry about most. Yeah. You enjoy watching their videos, and that's all their money.
He's he's hilarious, especially now that he's like taken himself more seriously lately, and he's being more than just angry guy. I've liked him a lot more lately. But
other Joe helps out.
Other Joe does help out. Yeah. But it's also important to note that a lot of the big competitors are gaming centric right now. Like Dailymotion, I know is big, but like who do you know goes to Dailymotion on the regular? Like instead of YouTube. And yeah, Twitch can compete, but Twitch is still gaming centric. Hitbox is gaming centric. I feel whatever competitor it is, they'd have to appeal to everyone not just gaming.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
Because YouTube may eventually, I mean, there's no question, one day, maybe it'll be 100 years, YouTube will not be #1. But we'll have to see what it is that takes it, and they'll have to appeal to everyone.
Everything that's, the most popular and the most common, eventually they will get disrupted. I mean, it's just, when humanity evolves, just what happens. There's always going to be new ways of doing things, new ways to consume things, and stuff. So eventually it will get disrupted. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. But I do think that when stuff like this happens with the demonetization, I think it opens the door for people to start going to other platforms. So, like Daniel was saying earlier, we might see, a lot of these big YouTubers start to put their stuff elsewhere alongside YouTube, and then that will get eyeballs going to other sites as well as YouTube, and then it might be a gradual thing, So I guess that might be what happens in this situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Change or die. And change or die. And if you change the wrong direction, it could be game over really fast and on the internet. And it's just YouTube's so huge, you just don't think it can fail. But change or die. If someone comes out here and they can make people more money, you'll see people leave in like droves, and people will go where the content is at. Like, well, I can't watch this guy on YouTube. Where's he at? Well, in his last video, he says, "Hey, I'm leaving YouTube. I'm going to I make a lot of money on videos.com. Come watch me there."
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things are gradual, because you see Facebook, who's like that they're not the #1 site right now, but at the same time, you've had Snapchat and all these other things come out, and that's taken a big chunk of their young audience. So they're still #1,
Totally.
but a lot of, like, their younger audience is also doing things elsewhere on other apps, and that's why Facebook, they keep trying to buy things, like they keep trying to buy out like possible competition and stuff, because they're scared, they're worried that that's going to happen, they're going to get disrupted someday. So I think it's all a gradual thing, because they've lost a chunk of their active young audience, so it's only a matter of time before maybe they lose the older audience. Maybe the older audience goes elsewhere, and then that's when things start to really decline. So I mean, you're always in danger of being disrupted, but it's always going to be gradual. So YouTube is still going to be here tomorrow. It's going to be here in a month. It's going to be here next year. But 5 to 10 years from now, who knows what will happen then.
They do have the benefit of being owned by Google. Oh yeah, sorry, Daniel.
No, it's all right. You go ahead.
Well, that was it. That was it. Actually, I was just gonna bring up that point.
I was just saying, I think Google is, but YouTube specifically is so large, no one's gonna beat Google and YouTube. YouTube and Google, the only way they lose is if they beat themselves. YouTube will have to make several key errors, and I think this is one, And they've already made a big one. They fixed the Google Plus stuff.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I think they're I think that you don't have to have a Google account anymore, do you?
No, you don't.
All right, so you can just
Well,
have a
that's
YouTube account.
that's not fixing it though. Like it's still like I still see a lot of like hay balls and stuff like breezing by there. Like there's nobody active on Google Plus at all.
Didn't they say they were discontinuing it like a few years ago? I thought they had said something like that.
I know they hired where is he from? They hired some guy. I think it was the creator of 4chan or something like that. They hired him to try and revolutionize Google Plus, but I don't know what happened to that because I see they changed the layout, but it's still terrible. Like it's a ghost town.
It looks worse now. I think it looks bad.
Yeah, I'm on it right now. It's confusing.
Like empty boxes everywhere, right?
Yeah, it's just weird.
I don't think they ever figured it out. They got it wrong to start with, and then they try to shove it down your throat, right?
Yeah.
By forcing it on YouTubers, and it was just.
God, I remember that.
People were so mad. People were so freaking mad, and then they pulled it off, but they've made a lot of bad decisions, and if they keep on making a lot of bad decisions, I mean, I guess you can continue to make a lot of bad decisions and still succeed. Look at Star Trek. It's like decades of bad decisions, and they somehow people still love the series.
Yeah, look at Sony.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic the Hedgehog. People still want to play the new Sonic game. They're like, oh,
I'm one of those people.
Maybe it won't suck this time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's about loyalty, yeah. Like the thing is, YouTube I don't think has that loyalty. I feel like Twitch kind of does, but I feel like YouTube, I don't know. I feel like if YouTube like went to shit, no one would really sit and defend it because it's been going so long. Whereas Twitch, I feel like people really are like kind of passionate about Twitch. Maybe I don't know because Twitch seems to just handle their things better.
Yeah, I got a lot of hate for talking about Beam, Beam.pro. I got some hate for talking about it. They're like, oh, you're only talking about because Microsoft bought it. As if I own stock in Microsoft and I'm an employee there. Right? I like Microsoft.
News.
Right? I like Microsoft, but I didn't know anything about Beam.pro. Yeah. I got on Beam.pro and I checked it out and I streamed a little bit to check out the delay and it was 2 seconds. And I was like, wow. How are people? How did I not know about this? How do people not know about this this company?
I hadn't heard about it until you just brought it up today. Honestly, I'm looking at it right now. It looks cool.
It's awesome. Right up front, it has one of the games that you can play.
No Man's Sky.
Does it have No Man's Sky? Oh, they have No Man's Sky.
Right now, it's in the background of the main.
Usually, they try to put a game up there that you can actually play.
Okay.
But you can have like controls and stuff. And
That's
they were
awesome.
playing. Yeah, you can play games. Someone had Final Fantasy X. I guess they're working with companies to put to more games to actually natively support Beam.pro so that you could play games. I guess at Minecraft, there's a mod for Minecraft on PC where players can like insert creepers or whatever into the game.
That won't
skeletons or something. Can you imagine that? Like you're just like building, all of a sudden creeper comes up, boom.
Interesting. Yeah, they gamified it too. You can level up and stuff. That's a brilliant idea. Making the platform a game.
Yeah, you level up, you earn sparks, and sparks are used to do like special stuff. So like let's say like spawning a skeleton might cost like 5 sparks, but spawning something worse, like a creeper, might cost like 1,000 sparks or something. They don't want people dropping creepers all into the game, right? And you can buy features of the streaming service with Spark as well. Okay. So some of the features are locked down. You have to buy them with Spark. And of course they have advertisement free, sort of like Twitch. They've got a partner program like Twitch does, and it's pretty interesting. I hope they do well. because they have
their site is brilliant. They have the roadmap out. They have the team. They have everything. It just looks like they're not hiding anything. They're being very open with us, and that's how you build loyalty, right there.
And the only thing I didn't like at first for a while there, they added it. You had to go and search for your stream. When I first got on there, you had to actually go search for your stream.
For your own stream?
Yeah, there wasn't a like, so you can get to your chat, right?
Okay.
So you had to go and
like
search for your stream to get to your chat.
That's funny.
Now they have a link up top, so it says go to my stream, right? I think it's up in the upper left-hand area. But I like how it shoots out to the side. The menu shoots out to the side.
Yeah. Oh, and I can filter it for interactive only. That's cool.
You can create teams on there. So
wow.
You can create teams of streamers.
Oh, yeah.
I think Twitch could really learn something from this. Like,
this is cool.
You guys are really selling this. I got to check it out now.
These startup companies, I could tell you, I'm not surprised Microsoft bought them. I'm like, of any of the companies they can buy, of the smaller companies, this one had some really interesting technology, and not just some of the cool stuff they're doing there, but the 0.22 second lag. That's great.
So have they integrated this with Xbox?
Not yet. I'm hoping that Microsoft brings this out for the PS4 as well. They're good about that. I don't think they'll not bring it out for another platform just to be jerks. They're not like that. If they were, you wouldn't see Minecraft on there anymore, would you?
That's fair.
So I expect that we'll be seeing Beam.Pro on every platform Microsoft can get it on.
Yeah, they already have their official streaming teams on here.
Yeah, you can't compete with Twitch if you're not on all the platforms that Twitch is on, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta get on the PS4, get on to the NX if Nintendo allows it. God.
Oh, that's a topic right there.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
That's a whole other topic. But shouts to Nintendo, because did anyone see the Nintendo Direct by any chance?
I read about it.
Oh man, like that was I was face palming throughout that whole thing. Like I was like, what the hell am I watching right now?
Yeah.
But yeah, shouts to Nintendo though, because I can't wait to hear more about the NX, and Pokemon Sun and Moon's coming out soon, so I will be looking forward to that. So.
Can't wait.
I'm interested in what Nintendo's doing, because I thought they should have done this a long time ago. I thought the Wii U should have been this. I thought that their mobile platform and their home platform should be essentially the same.
Yeah.
Because they have tons of developers developing on their mobile platform and nobody developing on their home platform. So if you take that option away from developers, where if you develop it on the mobile platform and you're developing it on the home platform, that'll be great.
No kidding. I'm just interested to see what the marketing is going to be, because everyone's waiting for this. They're not even going to have to advertise the damn thing.
I just hope they keep the name.
I do too.
It's going to be called something stupid, though. You know it.
No,
remember the Wii? Imagine if it would have been called the Revolution.
That would have been interesting.
That would have been great. It would have made sense, right? But they went with Wii. I mean, I understand what they were trying to do, but like people made fun of it for like a decade.
Yeah, and then Wii U, they continued with it.
Well, the Wii U I think was a marketing mistake. I don't know.
Oh, it totally was.
Yeah, who decided that? But they should be fired.
Yeah, that was.
They might not be with us anymore, so I shouldn't say that.
Oh well. Okay, yeah. So, any final thoughts on the YouTube stuff before we move on?
I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Shouts to Richard Bailey. Actually, he did send me a text message from LA, and he said he's enjoying the show. And yeah, shouts to Jake James Lugo as well. He couldn't be on the show today, but he did tell me. He made me make sure that I say this. And Kingsglaive Final Fantasy is coming out on Blu-ray this month, September. And ironically, it's coming out September 30th. So definitely look out for that. And yeah, I do have a winner to announce as well for our Final Fantasy 15 competition.
Oh, there you go.
Drum roll. Thank you very much. Thanks. I got my sound effects team. So yeah, the winner is Marcus Collins. So shouts to Marcus Collins. He is actually a Patreon supporter, so he'll be getting the deluxe edition, or the digital deluxe edition of Final Fantasy 15 when it releases in November. So shouts to you. And yeah, so guys, before we wrap this up, have you got any final thoughts or shout outs? I'll go to you first, Max.
Let's see. If you guys want to follow me on Twitter, I am Maximal Games on Twitter, Maxemole Games. Maximal on Xbox and Steam if you ever want to add me and play with me. And then I actually just launched a personal gaming blog a few days ago called wowimanerd.net. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check it out and follow me on there. I plan on posting just more personal, smaller excerpts than I would be on the Koalition.
Cool. Yeah, definitely go check that out, people, for sure. And Daniel, any final thoughts and shout outs?
Shout out to Magnum over here, Magnificent M in the chat. shout out to Damien. Keeley from Keylinks Gaming. Check him out on YouTube. You can find me as Quell, Cueil, on everything except for Facebook. We actually have the Fanzone Facebook page at facebook.com/fanzone. Twitter is @the_fanzone. And that's it.
Cool. So Magnificent M, I see him in the chat. Is that the same one that's on Fanzone?
Yes, that's Magnum on Fanzone. That's his name on YouTube.
Oh, okay, yeah, shouts to him, man, because we were talking about battle rap in the live chat and stuff, so shouts to him, for sure. Yeah, and shouts to everyone who listens week to week, and, you know, shouts to the whole Throwdown team, and, you know, everyone who supports the Koalition, and, you know, definitely shouts to our Patreon subscribers. I do not have the list of names with me here, but from memory, it's M. Collins, Gority, Michael, and I can't remember the other guy's name. I'm sorry, but I will put a list of the people in the post. So definitely, you know, thanks to those guys for showing their support. It's definitely worth it. It helps us produce more content, and you know, we actually just put out another Patreon exclusive podcast for you guys called True Gamer Stories, in which we talk about, you know, our E3 experiences, and we offer up a lot of behind the scenes details and information on how the event is run, and, you know, things that we've experienced while being at the show. And, you know, we're planning on doing a lot more True Gamer Stories in the future, ones where we interview people from within the industry, whether it's a developer or a PR or, you know, just another person in media. We plan on doing one about minorities in gaming to tell, you know, the story of what it's like being a minority in the industry, and, you know, just covering different topics like that. And then you've also got, you know, the Turn Base, which is the RPG podcast that we do, and we're looking at scheduling some more Versus episodes as well, which is our debate show. So yeah, this is just our way of giving back to you guys that, you know, really do support us in the long run. So thank you very much, guys. Leave your comments, and hope you enjoy the show. Peace out.
Hey guys.